Odell Beckham Jr. back on the field, and Odell, kind of a little bit of a self-evaluation of how he did in Week 1, and talked a little bit about chemistry with Baker Mayfield.
I like that I just played. Never got too high, never got too low. And there's obviously plenty of things I could work on, clean up, and that's what we do. We come here, we watch the film, reevaluate ourselves, see where we can get better, and then you kind of you work on that for the week.
It seemed throughout the game, Baker was looking to hit a home run with you, although it didn't happen. Was there conversation? It's there, it's not there?
It's just a game plan that we have. There's plays in there that we will have opportunities throughout the year, and I'm sure that we will hit them. And just whenever the opportunity presents itself, just make the most of it.
And D-Man, I didn't think they really forced it. I think early in the game they tried to get the ball in his hands just to kind of get him settled down. But other than that, I thought it was in the flow. And with the way they're running the football, there's going to be opportunities for the deep game to come into play.
I 100% agree with you, Dave. I didn't think anything was forced with Odell Beckham. Maybe they could find a throw or two in there that was, but I thought Beckham was a factor in the win. It was great to see him out there. He was open even more than the amount of receptions that he got. He could have had over 100 yards in receiving yards if Baker had been accurate, specifically on that one deeper ball down the left sideline. So, yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. made an impact. And, he said he was winded, and, he said he didn't have his legs under him. Perfectly understandable. If that's a winded and heavy-legged Odell Beckham Jr., I'm good with it. I expect him to be better than this, but this was a good start to his reacclimation to NFL games that matter, and he is definitely a factor in this offense.
And because of the way that game went, people tend to forget that Bears defense was actually a pretty good defense. It's the offensive side of the ball that's challenged, but that defense that the Browns put up a couple hundred yards rushing on is a really good defense.
Yeah, and Khalil Mack, he was injured during the game and didn't play as many snaps as he would have liked. But overall, that defense is good. It has been good in the past, and in recent past where you've got a decent number of guys still there. So, yeah, the Browns, that they were able to run the ball for more than 200 yards is a really good sign. And the fact that Odell just seemed to assimilate, he seemed to fit in there. It wasn't where Odell had to be the focal point. And honestly, I'm looking at a new, I would say new and evolved Odell Beckham Jr., or listening to a new and evolved Odell. When I hear him speak, he seems to be a lot more mellow. And yes, the competitive fire still burns. Yes, he wants to be great, but it doesn't feel like there's going to be any kind of any issues with him as far as the amount of touches that he may or may not get.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he.
And by the way, Dave, let me jump in. He would submit he's never made those waves. He would say that we've all made it out to be much more than it is since he arrived here in Cleveland. But I think there have been indications with his body language and some of his wording that he wasn't happy with certain things as far as balls going his way. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore.
No, I don't either.